The nurse counsels a young family that a child must have adequate physiological and neuromuscular maturity in order to master toilet training, usually around the age of 8 to 12 months, 4 to 6 months, 8 to 24 months, 14 to 16 months, 18 to 24 months. All right. When it comes to toddlers trying to feed themselves, it's all a trial and error thing. So you let them, but you don't give them utensils, you give them finger food so they can feed themselves and master that. And once they master feeding themselves with finger foods, then you can start with a spoon and fork. The nurse reminds the family when a toddler attempts to feed himself, the family should encourage the child to use a fork, feed the child themselves using a fork, give him large portions for easy handling, offer him finger foods. Offer him finger foods. There are things we need to stay away from when it comes to kids under the age of 6 months. Because most of the time kids have allergies to these. Fruit, no, wheat flour. Okay, you have to stay away from egg whites. That's why any baby under the age of 6 months is not going to get a flu shot or most vaccines that contain eggs. Citrus, they get a really bad citrus rash on their tongue. It's like little red bumps. Lemons, oranges, all that. Actually, under a year, they shouldn't get any type of citrus. Fruits, you don't want before 6 months, especially fruits containing acid because they can get the citrus rash in their mouth. And then wheat flour, and I don't know why. I've never had somebody have some type of allergic reaction to that product. The nurse responding to a mother's concern about the development of a food allergy in her 5-month-old suggests delaying introduction of such foods as oats, potatoes, citrus fruits, green vegetables. Citrus fruit. Okay. When it comes to Piaget's pre-operational stage, this describes the preschooler as imaginative and egocentric, believing in magical thinking. Meaning, a preschooler is probably going to have an imaginary friend because that's what stage they're in their life, is imagination versus egocentric. So, I can imagine myself as being the president. I can imagine myself as being Cinderella because I'm a preschooler and the sky is the limit for me, okay? When the nurse notes that a 5-year-old has an imaginary friend with whom he converses frequently, the nurse recognizes this is a characteristic of Piaget's stage of operational, pre-operational, concrete operation, or formal operation. Pre-operational, because Piaget's pre-operational stage describes the preschooler as imaginative and egocentric. Oh, Lord Jesus. During school years, children become involved in competitive sports that support their drive for the industry. So basically this is saying school year age. So probably, I don't know, from like 1st grade all the way up to about senior year, you're really competitive. But not even from 1st grade until, we'll say, 7th grade. Because when you start to get into 8th grade to senior year, you're more of, how do I look? Type. It's all about my looks and who I am and trying to fit in. So, the mother of an 11-year-old is asking about the benefits of her child joining a soccer team. The nurse counsels that at this age, the child will benefit because athletics provide an opportunity for the development of role identification, parallel pay, cooperation, or competition. D, competition. All right. A 14-year-old male patient has to undergo a leg amputation. The nurse makes the focus of the nursing care plan to support the patient's nutritional status, academic progress, body image, socialization needs.
Socialization.
It's all about how we look, body image. When it comes to 14-year-olds, like I said, it's all how we look. We want to fit in. We want to be the it person. We want to be popular. But to be popular, you have to be pretty and you have to dress right. So it's all about how we look. Okay. The formal operational stage is the cognitive development of adolescence when it comes to PJs. Today's formal operational stage is our cognitive development during adolescence, okay? The cognitive development of the adolescents, according to Paget's, is concrete operational, sensory motor stage, pre-operational, or formal operational. Formal operational. Cognitive development happens during the formal operational stage. Okay, you guys know that the prime of our life is like usually 20, 18 to maybe 35, where we are at the optimal functioning level. We usually can run the fastest, jump the highest, walk for miles, swim, do whatever we want, because we're in the prime of our life. We're very young and our body is at its optimal functioning level. As the nurse does a physical assessment on a 25-year-old, the nurse has the expectation that during this time the patient is experiencing a gradual decline in the patient or in the physical capability, optimal level of functioning, slight diminishing of visual acuity, minimal hearing loss, optimal level of functioning. Everything else happens when you start getting older, like when you're in mid-age to older adult. When it comes to intimacy versus isolation, this is an Erik Erikson stage. This happens during adulthood. This is one of the tasks that we're supposed to achieve during adulthood, intimacy versus isolation. This is where we find somebody to love, or we end up alone and all by ourselves. That's how Erikson looks at it, okay? You still have lots of time, okay? Erikson identifies intimacy as a developmental task of an adult. If this task is not accomplished, the outcome will be mistrust, guilt, isolation, or inferiority.
Isolation.
Exactly. Everybody just wants somebody to love, huh?
That's weird because my uncle, he's 45 or 46, and he has never been married, he don't have kids.
And he don't want to either.
And he doesn't want to have kids.
Because he likes his money too much.
Well, because he sees all my uncles, and then his kids, their kids, how they're growing, which are my cousins, and how they have kids at a young age, and how we rebel, we don't care what they say, so he's like,
Hell no.
He doesn't want
Exactly.
that.
Smart man. He likes money. That's my brother. My brother is 33. Never has kids, never wants to get married, and is quite happy. Has a boat, Sea-Doos, an Arctic cat, 3 cars, a house, 3 dogs, and is very happy.
yeah, and he loves his animals, he's like, his dogs.
His dogs are his animals.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, his dogs sleep with him, so I don't feel so bad. Okay. The leading cause of death in young adults is motor vehicle accidents. Actually, it's any type of accident. Young adults get into accidents, why? Because of substance abuse, because they get drunk, because they get high, they do whatever, and then they get into accidents. The nurse cautions a group of young adults that the leading cause of death in their age group is diabetes, accidents, hypertension, or testicular cancer. Accidents. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. middle-aged people, which are from 40 to 65. If middle-aged women complain about night sweats and mood swings, the nurse recognizes that these symptoms are related to what? Menopause, of course. Damn night sweats and mood swings, I tell you. Sometimes I feel like I'm going through early menopause. Just so you know, typically, make sure you know when your mom started menopause, because that's usually when you begin to start it. Yeah. So I'm shit out of luck, because my mom
Does every
started
woman
at
have
like 42.
menopause? Tiffany?
Huh?
Does every woman has menopause?
Not every woman,
Oh,
no.
because my mother never had.
You're never gonna have either. Lucky you, you're always gonna be able to have a baby. Oh, isn't that nice?
I had too many.
See, lucky me. After my second one, I was like, oh, hell no, this isn't gonna happen again. Fix me now. And got fixed. Okay. When it comes to prejudice against older adults, that term is what? You know it.
I forgot.
Ageism. Ageism is prejudice against older adults. What's presbycuspid? Has to deal with the ears. It is the natural aging process that happens to hearing. It decreases your hearing. Presbycuspid, age-related hearing loss. Presbyopia, age-related vision loss. So custis is hearing and opia is vision, but they're both age-related loss of either hearing or vision, okay? Okay, there's something known as the biological programming theory. This maintains that there is hereditary basis for aging.